I'm Claire Newton. I'm a psychologist, speaker, trainer, and coach. If you have not lived in one of the areas that have been affected by this violence, looting and rioting, and you want to know what can I do to help the people that have been traumatized, here's a few things to think about. The first is don't try to fix it. Don't try to solve it. There's nothing that you can actually do. Your role is just to be there, to support, to listen, and to help in whatever practical ways that you can help. Don't try and take somebody's feelings away from them. When they say that they're feeling angry, just listen. They're entitled to their anger. When they say that they feel helpless, they're entitled to that sense of helplessness. So whatever feeling it is that they're describing, that they are going through, allow them to feel that. It is real, it is valid. But what you can do is help them not to react impulsively to it. So if somebody's feeling angry, allow them to feel that anger, to talk about it, to process it, but help them not to act impulsively in any way that's going to be destructive or something like that. Don't be angry around them. I mentioned that a little earlier about they've been through enough violence. They've been through enough, shocking experiences that they don't need you to be shouting off and showing how angry you are. Swallow that anger. You deal with it somewhere else, but don't deal with it in front of that traumatized person. Try not to tell them it could have been so much worse. Try not to tell them think positively and how lucky you are and so on. Yes, for you, you know it possibly could have been worse. And yes, they are lucky. But that just invalidates the experience that they've been going through. For them, it was horrific. For them, it was perhaps terrifying. It was a really, really bad experience. Try not to minimize it for them. This experience was real. And although one community may have been so much more devastated than another community, each one of us is experiencing this trauma in our own way. And just allow that person to be able to talk about and process the feelings that they have had. Try and help in practical ways. If they're forgetful, don't be short-tempered with them. Just help them put in place ways of remembering things. Try and be practical around decision-making. Don't ask them to make a whole lot of decisions. If dinner has to be cooked, just decide what you're going to make and make it. Don't ask them what would they like. Don't give them too many choices. Try not to give more than 2 choices if you do want to give them a choice. If their appetite is gone, just try and tempt them with small little morsels. A piece of fruit that's been cut up. Don't try and put a whole huge big plate of food in front of them and expect them to eat it. If they're angry and short-tempered and irritable with you, don't take it personally. It's not an excuse that they can behave badly towards you. I never encourage that. But don't take their anger personally and help them just to work through their anger in an appropriate way. Listen carefully. If they want to talk, just let them talk. Just listen. And if they don't want to talk, then don't try and force them to talk. Just allow them to process, to think, but let them know that you're there. That at some point, should they want to talk, that you're there and you're ready to listen. And never underestimate that power of listening. Just listen. Don't try and fix. Don't try and solve. Don't try and tell them what to do or how to be. Just listen. Spend time with them. You don't even necessarily have to talk. Perhaps just go and visit and sit with them. Just sit outside, in the sunshine. Sit inside on the couch. Just sit with them. Just be with them. And try to understand what they went through. And this is where empathy is so important. Empathy is that ability to put yourself into someone else's world, to understand how it was for them. Not what you would have done or how you would have done it, but just how it was for them, their experience. And then don't expect that person to be as you knew them before the traumatic event. They will be behaving and thinking and speaking in strange kind of odd ways. They're going to be out of sorts. They're not going to be fully themselves. Don't panic. Don't worry. It's not going to last. They will get back to, to their normal self again. But don't feel overwhelmed that they're behaving in slightly strange, odd ways. Don't feel, concerned that they are tearful and so on. Just give them allowances, help them to put routines in place, help them in those practical ways that I mentioned, and just allow them to process this in their own time. Remember, we're all unique individuals. Some people are going to be far more traumatized than other people. Some people are going to be showing far more trauma reactions than other people. Some are not going to show any reaction at all. And that's okay. It just is what it is. And your role to help is just to let that person be who they are and to process this in the best way that they can with your support and your assistance.